Hey, hello people, welcome to Gurukula. I'm Jai. So today in this video we will be talking about the another simple module on DVWA, which is weak session IDs. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started. So previously in this particular series, we have discussed in detail about blind SQL injection, where we have really did a deep dive on how to detect the blind SQL injection in a web application and how to hunt for a blind SQL injection which is present on vulnerable web applications. So if you haven't checked that video yet, I will leave the link in the description box below and I would recommend you to check that out. So in this video, we will be talking about the next module in the DVWA series, which is weak session IDs. So in one of our previous videos where we have discussed about the cross-site request forgery CSRF, we have discussed enough on how the session IDs will work and how the client and server will interact the cookies so as to maintain the sessions of an logged in user for a particular web application. So I would recommend you to visit that particular video to get the context of how exactly the session IDs are managed by the servers and how the servers will send the IDs in the form of cookies and how the browsers will save those cookies in our client side. So with that introduction, I don't want to repeat the same concepts again and again, and quickly we will just jump into solving the objectives of DVWA on the session IDs. So without wasting much time, let's get our hands dirty. Let's fire up our virtual machine and the DVWA. So here is our damn vulnerable web application running on our Kali machine. So let me just change the security level to low as usual, and you could see that now the security level is set to low. We can quickly jump into weak session IDs. So when we get into the weak session IDs, we could actually able to see a page and there is a button to generate. But before actually doing anything on this particular lab, we just need to know what are we supposed to do. So let me just click on view help and then I can just zoom in to see what is the objective that's given for us for this particular lab. So if you look at this objective, it clearly states that this module uses 4 different ways to set the DVWA session cookie value. So it seems like there is a cookie value in the name of DVWA session as a cookie which is stored in the browser. And the objective of each level is to work out how the ID is generated and infer the IDs of the other system users. So the objective is very clear. So for each and every difficulty level, we are expected to identify how the session IDs are being generated. So with that having a clear objective in our mind, let's get started with our low security level first, and we will see what's given on the web application. So here it is very clear that this page will set a new cookie called DVWA session each time the button is clicked. So in order to see the cookie, let me just ping up the developer sessions, and when you just look at the memory and when you just go to the storage, when you click on cookies, you can actually able to see the cookies that is present in this web application. So currently we have only 2 cookies, which is PHP session ID and the another cookie is security level is set to low. So these are all the name of the cookies and this is the value of that particular cookie which is being set. So when I click on generate, you could actually able to see that the web application have refreshed for one time, and then again when we visit this particular cookies section, we could able to see that the DVWA session cookie have been established. This is the new cookie which have been established or which have been set after clicking on this generate button. So as an objective, we are expected to find out the relationship between how these cookie values are getting generated. Currently we have the value of 1. So we will try to generate the next cookie. So let me click the generate button one more time, and then when I look at the cookies tab once again, you could see that the value of cookie is set to 2. So I think many of you might be guessing what exactly the pattern that this session ID is following. So probably this session ID is actually incrementing the DVWA session value. So earlier it was 1, and when then I clicked on generate, it was 2, and by the next time if we generate, if we get 3, we could probably confirm that the session is getting incremented in a sequential way. So to confirm that, let me click on generate one more time, go to the cookies, and then see what's the value of DVWA session. We could confirm that the DVWA session is set to 3. So as far as low level is concerned, we could clearly see that the session IDs are generated in a sequential way, which is not a very secure way for a web application implementation. We or anyone or in any particular attacker, if he guesses the next session value, he would get the valid session ID, and he could able to impersonate, or he could even able to take over the account as well. So as far as this level of module is concerned, we are not exploiting anything. We are just informed to find out what is the pattern which is being used to generate the session IDs. So with that, we will just move on to the next security level. We can increase the security level to medium, and we just click on submit, and again we will come back to the session IDs. So once you click over here in the cookies, again we could able to see that the previous session ID is maintained as such. So just to clear out all these sessions, let me click on generate one more time, and when you come back to the session IDs, we could see a random number over here. So this time it is not just a single integer value, but this is an it looks like a complete random number, but let's see what exactly the pattern it follows. So currently the number is 1784 and so on. When I click on the generate for one more time, when I click on these cookies again, we could see that the number only a slight difference is over there. So the pattern I think that this is following is should be, it is just taking the timestamp and then it is just displaying in the Unix format. So that is actually the thing. So we will just copy this particular value, and then we will just go to the code chef, cyber chef, I'm sorry. So once you are in the cyber chef, when you give the input, it will automatically say that this is actually the Unix timestamp. And by this thing we can actually able to see that the cookies is generated purely based on the time and date of that particular mission. So it takes the time and date of the mission, and then it is just representing that date and time in the Unix timestamp format, and that is being taken as the session ID. So if we could able to know the time of the mission, so we could able to generate, or we could able to predict, even though this number looks like a random number, this is actually taking the date and time and representing in the Unix time format, which is so predictable. So just to confirm, we can actually able to see that the timestamp that we have generated earlier is 10:12:58 seconds UTC. We will just try to take in one more session. Let me just click on generate, so that will generate a new cookies over here. So this time this is the value. Let me just copy this, and then I will put the same thing on the timestamp. So we can actually able to see instead of 10:12, the value have changed to 10:14. So it is simply taking the time and date of the mission, and then it is converting that into a timestamp, and that is being acting as a session ID. So here as well, the medium security level, we could confirm that this is not a secure way of implementation because it is very much predictable. So we will now change the security level to hard, high, and then we will see what is waiting for us in this security level. Let me just move on to the weak session IDs, and when I click over here, you could see that the previous session IDs are maintained over here. When I click on generate, you could see that there is no much difference on this particular session ID. But actually this is because of the implementation procedure of the web application. I have actually installed this DVWA from the Kali Linux official repository. So when we just get into the networks tab, we will actually able to get the good picture of how exactly the session ID is being generated. So once I click over here, you can actually see what are all the cookies that is being set. So here in this particular cookie, you can see that the very first post request is nothing but when I click this generate button, a post request is submitted to the server. So on receipt of this particular request, the server is actually giving a response as a cookie. So here you can see that the server is responding with the DVWA session cookie value, and this particular cookie value is set to some randomized values here. So this is the randomized value which is set to the cookie over here. We could not able to see this particular cookie in our cookies tab. It is because how this web application is implemented. So just to give you a clarity, when I just click on this view source, you can actually see that for this difficulty level, the DVWA session value, then you could see over here, this particular cookie is valid only when we are inside this particular URL. That is true because we are actually in that particular URL only. But the second condition clearly states that this particular session ID is valid only for this IP of the host. And here you can see that the server only IP address is being taken. But in our case, the DVWA web application is hosted on the local server, I mean the local machine 127.0.0.1, but it is hosted on a particular port 42001. But as per the implementation strategy of this particular web application, the code does not allow to take the port number, where it takes only the IP address. And so the browsers, not the Firefox browser, any modern browsers will obviously drop the cookie values which is being sent from a different IP address. So even though there is no provision for over here for the port addresses, the browser will silently drop the values. That is the reason why we could not actually able to see the values of this cookie in this memory tab. I'm sorry, the storage tab. So here we could not able to see any cookies over here. That is because of that IP followed by the port address usage. But that won't stop our learning, but we can actually able to see that this is the value which is being sent by the server. So we can just try to guess what number is this. We will just try to copy this, and then I will try to make a note of this particular ID. So let me just paste it over here, and we have that value here, and we will try to generate the new session ID. I'll click on generate. I'm still on the networks tab just to see what has been received. So let me just click on the post, and here you could see that we have actually got a new value over here. So let me just copy this particular value, and then I will paste it over here. So this is the new value that we have received for the second time. So just to take few more values, let me take another value over here. Let me just click on the generate, so that gives me the third value, and here is the third value. Let me just copy this as well, and I'll put it in our notes. So by looking at this particular session IDs, though it is random, it looks like an MD5 hash. So if we could able to crack this MD5 hash by using the tools, we could able to get what exactly the input that the server takes and applies an MD5 algorithm on it. So in order to crack this, we will just get on to the crack station. So we can get on to this crack station, and then we will try to paste our cookies one after the other, so that we can actually get what exactly the inputs are. So just verify that I'm not a robot, and we should select the cars. I see these tiles as cars, so it's been verified. Then I click on crack hashes, and boom, we could actually able to see that this MD5 is actually an hash value for the integer called 1. So at this point itself, we could able to deduce the pattern of generating the session IDs. So probably the second value should be resolving to the integer called 2. So let us confirm that. I'll take the second value. I'll paste it over here. When I click on I'm not a robot, so I just have to solve a few more. I see a bicycle here, I see a bicycle here and here. So let me just verify, and let me click on crack hashes. So while cracking this hash, we could able to see that this is an hash value of the integer called 2. So this is almost clear that the server is taking the integer value, it is applying an hash algorithm, it's computing an MD5 on it, and then it is giving it as a session ID. So just to give a confirmatory test, let us take the third session as well, and we will just check it out whether this value is resolving to 3. If this particular value resolves to 3, then we could shortly say that the server is taking the integer values. Yes, it is resolving to 3. So we can successfully conclude that the server is actually taking the integer numbers as like in the low security level, and this time it is applying an MD5 hash value. So this is also a vulnerability in the web application, because the session ID should not be predictable and it should not be guessable as well. So yeah, that is how we have just successfully completed or the given objectives of this particular module. So as of in the low security mode, it is just like an integer number 1 2 3 in sequential order. So if a user got the session ID 3, obviously the next valid session ID is going to be 4. And in the medium security level, we are just taking the system's date and time and representing that in the Unix format. So once you know the time, or we can trigger an attack on a particular date and time so that the session ID becomes valid at that particular point in time. So the third difficulty level, that is in the hard difficulty level, we could actually see that the server is taking again the integer numbers from 1 to infinite, and it is applying an MD5, and it is taking as a session ID. So we have successfully computed, or we have successfully inferred how this web application is generating the session IDs on all three difficulty levels. So with that, we are coming to the end of this particular module, whereas in this particular session, we have just introduced you to the session ID, though we have not discussed that in this video. I have made a detailed discussion on the another video. I will leave the link in the description box, or you will find it in the I button on top of this video. You could find the other video and just learn how session IDs are being handled. And here, as per the objectives of DVWA, we have solved how this vulnerable web application is handling the session IDs on all three difficulty levels. So with that, we will be seeing in the next video, which is focused on XSS, which is DOM based XSS. So I'm going to wind up this video here, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Until then, it's bye from Jay, and happy learning.